Hi everyone! Today's gonna be a little bit of a different video because someone on Instagram asked me to interview me for a school project, and of course I said yes because I'm always happy to help and I love educating other people about doll collecting because I think a lot of people just don't get it and I feel like we need to talk about it more. And I thought while I'm filming this anyways, let's just upload it as a YouTube video because maybe some of you have the same questions and I can give you the answer. Why did you start collecting? It's actually kind of a sad story. When I was 13 years old, I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease and I was incredibly ill. I wasn't able to go to school at all. I was stuck at home, sleeping, wasn't really able to eat because it was hurting, and just watching YouTube videos all day. At one moment, I found Monster High, which is a school for monsters where everyone can just be themselves and doesn't get judged by anyone. And as you could imagine, I was feeling left out a little bit in that time because I wasn't able to do activities like other kids. I wasn't even able to go to school. So I felt left out and I felt a little weird because I couldn't really do anything. When I was watching these Monster High episodes, it was kind of like I was going to school with them. So I still felt like I had the school experience and that made me instantly connect. Later I found out they had dolls. Now I was already kind of collecting Bratz dolls, but they were discontinued, so I was pretty sad about that. But then I found out Monster High had dolls too. Me and my sister bought one and I instantly fell in love and I was like, we need more. And that's kind of how it all started. Is there a specific reason you still collect? I stopped collecting dolls for a little bit, but when COVID came around, I got back into collecting, mainly because it's a safe space for me. As a kid, I used it as a safe space. It made me feel really comfortable. It made me feel included and loved. And during COVID, I was quite scared sometimes, mostly of the world and how people were behaving towards each other. So I got reconnected with my dolls. I started recollecting them, and later I found out Monster High was coming back, and then I just kept going because it feels good, it feels nostalgic, it feels like I need to complete it. I need to complete my collection. And dolls still really make me happy. Of course, it's not the same as a kid. I don't play with them anymore, but I see them as little art pieces. Do you ever get negative comments? Honestly, I barely do. At least not about the aspect of me collecting dolls. No one really cares, which is nice. Maybe there are some family members of mine who aren't completely accepting of it, but they would never reject me because of it. So honestly, I don't have a lot of experience with this. When I was in media college, I did have some kids who were kind of against my doll collecting, but I never really cared about that. But nowadays, I don't really get negative comments at all. Maybe some people who are just hating, or because I pronounce stuff wrong, because we live in a cancel culture, unfortunately, which I totally disagree with. People get mad about those small things, but not about me collecting dolls. If you get negative comments, does it bother you? Not really, because I know my worth and I know what I'm doing is not wrong. It makes me happy and it brings me so much joy, and if someone would judge me because I collect dolls, it's just like other people spend their money on drugs, on alcohol, on games, on figures, on movies. I don't, literally anything. It doesn't matter. Why would you care so much about what I do with my money and time? This brings me joy, this brings me happiness, this is a form of therapy for me, and they're little art pieces, and I love tiny little details. It just makes me happy. I'm super perfectionistic, so seeing these dolls with the tiniest little details that are so thought out just make me really happy. So, have people ever told you were too old to collect dolls? There have been some people who are like, but you're gonna get rid of them, right? You're not gonna collect them forever, right? You're gonna stop collecting at some point. You're gonna sell them at one point, right? You just don't get it, Maybe when I'm 60 and I have children and I'm retired and anything, maybe I will get rid of them and spend my last money on something fun to do with my life or something. I don't know. I don't know what the future brings. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about my dolls in 10 years, for example, but they are already so important to me. They're a really big part of my life. They helped me get through so much mental issues and even physical issues as well when I was really, really sick. It was a really big distraction, and I can't think of not having any dolls. So how many dolls do you have in total now? Right now I have around 450. I should really do a recount, but I keep losing track whenever I count them and I get new dolls. I don't count the new dolls. So I think around 450, and I always keep my doll count on my Instagram account so other people know as well, because I get that question quite a lot. Are a lot of your dolls gifted or did you buy them yourself? When I started recollecting, I had 99 dolls, and most of them were bought by my parents, and I got them as gifts because every time I went to the hospital, had a surgery or anything like that, my parents gifted me a doll because they knew it cheered me up, and that's why I had so many. But now most of my collection is bought by me. I work 4 to 5 times a week in a toy store, so I got quite a lot of money. I still live at my dad's place, so basically all my budget can go to my collection, which I don't do anymore, but theoretically it could go to my collection. What's the most you spend on a doll? The most I spent on 2 dolls, which are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. You could only get them at San Diego Comic-Con, and these were from 2015, I believe, are the San Diego Comic-Con Valentine and Wisp. So these are limited editions. You couldn't really get them anywhere else but at Comic-Con. Now I don't live in the US, unfortunately, so I didn't have the chance to get them then. So I bought them off of Vinted, new in box, and they were 400 euros. So I think that is the most I spend on my dolls. Before anyone says, oh, that's a lot of money for 2 dolls, it is. But I made that money through YouTube, so with Monster High and with my collection, I was able to pay for these dolls. So I kind of was like, it can be justified a little bit. Since I made the money with my dolls, I can spend it on my dolls too. What's your opinion on scalpers? Now, for people who don't know what scalpers are, there are multiple terms. Resellers, for example. People who solely buy dolls to resell them for like 3 or 5 or 10 times the value, the retail value, which make the prices go up like crazy, which makes it really hard for passionate doll collectors to complete their collection and to get the doll. I absolutely despise these people. I think they should get a real job and a real life. I think it's pathetic that you have to make money off of people who are passionate about something like doll collecting. And scalpers are in every single community, like they're everywhere. I just think it's unfair, and I don't think it should be legal. Even though it is, you know, it's not illegal, but I think you're kind of doing something wrong. And I feel like bigger companies like Mattel should really try and stop this. They're already trying to do it a little bit, but there should be better security because, for example, there have been dolls that are sold out in minutes that scalpers got like 70 pieces of, and because a lot of people didn't get it, people are more likely to buy from scalpers because they really want the doll that badly, and that's just mean. And last question, would you ever consider to sell your collection? Like I already mentioned before, I don't know what my life is gonna look like in 10 years, 20 years. I'm already 26 now, so a little bit old, but I don't know where life's gonna bring me. But right now, I don't feel like selling my collection at all. This is like a safety bunker for me, and why would I get rid of that now? Maybe if I don't need it anymore, or maybe if I feel like I want to travel the world and leave everything behind and I need money, then I'm definitely gonna sell it, but I don't know. I cannot say anything about the future, but for now, I don't want to sell my collection at all, so they're going in the casket with me. Or maybe if I have kids, then the collection will go to my kids. But that's gonna be a little tricky because I'm very, very careful with my dolls and I don't like them being messy. Maybe if my kids are old enough, they can have them. So that was the interview. I hope everyone liked it and maybe learned some new things. I want to get more into YouTube and I really should try. Yes, and I say that every single time and I still don't do it, but I'm gonna try. Definitely let me know what kind of videos you want to see next because I need more inspiration. Bye!